So welcome one and all to a picturesque evening here. A clear night, all the ingredients for a showcase game that the passionate crowd demands. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. And looking down the list of names, it does look, Jim, as though it's going to be a 5-3-2.
Well, it could be a disguise, Peter, for something else. And that five at the back can easily produce wing-backs. If that's the case, I think, you know, it might end up a three at times. Admittedly, though, if they do play deeper and in line with the centre-backs, then we can take it that they don't really want to give much away. That'll be foremost in their minds. But essentially, it depends on the two wide players in that defence. If they push on a little bit more, we could see something very different.
So we're up and running. Shomorodov. Masuaku has a look and plays it forward. That has been cut short. Kusenov. Now then, the ball's come loose. Kusenov. Well, that looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Masuaku played with finesse.
Uzbekistan, well, Peter, look how far up the fullbacks are getting now. This is really high.
And constantly after the ball, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're weighing up their options.
Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. There could be trouble here. But for now, the referee is keeping his cards in his pocket. And he's there to clear it. Ball's gone out of play. Steve shoots!
He almost caught everyone out there the way he just eked out the room to get the shot in.
Cleared away. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
He's found a way through. Good chance here! Oh, that's a waste.
It's certainly a bold attempt, and there's nothing wrong with that. Shame he didn't work the keeper a bit more, though.
Masuaku. Oh, good spread. Twanzebe could try cutting inside here. Looking for a decent... A real chance! And that has been cleared. Strong running down that left flank. He's shifting through the gears here. Shomorodov, cross into the box. Aim forwards. And here's the chance to counter. Can he get onto this? Now that's well seen too. And it's gone back to the keeper. Getting on for a third of the way through the game. Still goalless at the moment. Some good work on the right flank here. And it's played forward. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. Oh, that's a booking. Always looked it. Tries to get it clear. And the shot's on here. Masuaku does well to get it back. Shapes to shoot!
His reputation is better than what we've just seen.
Moved on forwards. Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. And he cuts out the supply. Up towards the front line. Kusanov, forwards and with intent. That's really well manoeuvred. Mbemba. Aim forwards. Oh, red. Nice interception. Moved on forwards. Oh, there's a probing ball. And we've reached half-time. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Well, there's one standout, Peter, that needs improving, and that's the passing. All too often it's been found wanting, you know, much to the frustration of everyone around. And I'd go so far as to say that it's the biggest contributor as to why we have the scoreline we do.
Whistle goes, and we start the second half.
Well, both sides are eager to get going. Here's hoping that it's a good sign. Things are about to change. We need a little more life in this.
The pressing's intense, and it's paid off.
are certainly playing with an intense focus in executing their plan here.
And the counter is on. Masuaku. It's an inviting looking ball, that. Kusanov attempts a clearance. That's really well cleared. Hoisted in. Surely now! Sticks it away!
Uzbekistan, look, that was a technical interaction of great football. That has gone down a treat.
Uzbekistan have fired themselves in front.
Well, it looks like a bit of half-time encouragement was all that was needed, because we have a very different game on our hands now, Peter.
He's well to big chance! That was nicely by the defence.
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
They're coming again and again.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it. Yeah, I think the word from the touchline, Peter, is that defence needs to focus on runners and balls over the top.
Yeah, it's a clear change in approach, isn't it?
Yeah, and if they drop off, there has to be a strong level of industry from other departments in front.
And it's played forward. Oh, nicely intercepted. Defending was strong and firm. Played back in. Out to the right. That's going to go a long way. And they can counter here. That's a nicely shaped ball. Receives it in a good position here. There's the shot! Time for a change in personnel.
Well, you have to feel a little for the player being taken off here. I think he's been made the scapegoat after that, but I guess something had to be done. I suppose it did need a little change.
Now it's Shomorodov. Oh, such a clever touch. Shomorodov! Oh, and that should have been two.
Shomurodov really thought he'd scored to settle this contest, and he's struggling to believe being denied.
There's going to be another change here.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
Takes the shot! And that would have won it.
Just got too eager there, I think, Peter. Had half an eye on the two-goal cushion.
Uzbekistan are making a change now.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
Hangs in a cross.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Gets himself into trouble and he's lost it. It's Bakambu.
Uzbekistan really wanted that two-goal cushion, but it wasn't to be. Still, they should be able to see it out from here.
Bakambu. Couple of changes then in quick succession.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Clears it away. Fourth official showing that there will be 3 minutes of added time. Kusanov shifted upfield. Not much subtlety about that challenge. And that will be the final act. Quite a game, and one that was always on a knife edge until the very final whistle. No shortage of endeavour, effort, at times effervescence, but just one goal to show for all of that.
I've been in this position myself, and this